And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
Are your fears or the fears of others you care about impacting your life? Seriously, think about that. Are fears or the fears of others impacting your life? It is such a big thing going on in our society these days in which anxiety is getting overwhelming for people because of the fear. And it would only be right here on Effective Communication if we talked about this. Hi, Phil Zeller. Honored to be with you. You know, fears can quickly suck the life out of our life. It is so many times you see that happen to people, and I want to laugh, but it's not funny. And the reason it's not funny because it sucks everything good out, and it just pains us to go through it. And let alone if we're managing it well, and you see somebody else that you care about in their life, and they're really struggling with fears. And you know in your gut, if they only thought about this and were able to work through it, life could be so much better for them, in turn impacting us and making our life better. So if you want to go there, you came to the right place today, because that is exactly where we're going here over the next few minutes, is to share with you a way that you can address these fears, go after them. They don't need to take over your life, and you can help the people around you. As Dale Carnegie shared, it's fear that robs us of the abundant life we should be living. Your life is worth so much more to be living it abundantly versus being in fear of things. So the question is, how do you replace that fear so that we do have a better life? Because, logically, if people could do this, they would do this, correct? If they thought about it and they actually found out they had an option that they could make their life better and not be scared and living in fear, but actually have a better life, they would if they had some control over it. Now, as we've shared before on the show, you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. So let me be clear on that. So what can we do if we're faced with a fear? And the fear is overwhelming to us, or it's affecting somebody else in our life. Well, the first thing we need to do is understand the fear. It's almost impossible to overcome a fear unless we can recognize it. You got to put a label on it. You got to put a face on it. You got to put an understanding, what is the fear? What is causing the fear? And so the reality is if we want to overcome it and we're not willing to address it, well, we're not going to overcome it. If we can't recognize it, then we don't even know what we're trying to solve, right? So those two things have to be dealt with. One, we have to be willing to say, yes, I want to overcome this fear. And number two, we've got to recognize what the fear is. So Dale Carnegie challenged us, first of all, to get all the facts. Get all the facts. Why? Because fear is oftentimes recorded as false evidence appearing real, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. So we need to get the real evidence, the real facts. What's really going on in this situation? Then we need to write those facts down, document those facts are, so we understand them. Now, once you have all the facts, you want to weigh all the facts out. Make sense of all the facts. Do you understand the facts? Do they make sense to you? How would you describe them? How would you define them? Use your logic. What actually makes sense based upon the facts? And as you think about that, you're going to start to reach an educated decision, because you've educated yourself by getting all the facts and all the evidence together to help you understand your own situation, or to help this other person understand their situation so that they can move forward. Now, once you've got that educated decision made based upon the facts, that's where we move. That's where we act. But remember, that educated decision doesn't come to act on until we've recorded all those facts. Now, let's move on that decision. Dale Carnegie said, once a decision is reached, act. We need to act on it. We need to make our situation better. And with an action or actions that lead to positive outcomes. So think about that. What, when you act on it, can you do positively that will influence that situation in a productive way that will make things better? So this is your key, my friends. You want to face fear, you want to overcome fear, you want to reduce it in your life, follow these 3 steps. You'll be able to replace fear with logical things you can do to make your life better. So get all the facts, weigh all the facts, and then once you come to a decision, act on that and make your life better, my friend. You deserve it. Now go make it happen.